Okay, so these are ones that we are trying to find out if they are true or false. So the way that I needed to think about these was by writing out what's happening. A car travels 552.5 miles in 8 5/10 hours. An equation that represents the distance d a car travels in is h equals 65 times d. So we are figuring out miles per hour. So what I would be doing 552.5 times 8.5. So I'm taking my miles times my hours. This is to get the 665. So I don't even need to do all that. So I'm going to erase it. And the reason why I'm doing that is because since it's giving me hours and it's giving me miles, I can just plug it in. So this one would be 8.5. That H is 8.5 equals 65 times D, which is the distance, 552.5. Well, I can already tell 8.5 does not equal. So this one is false. This is one of those things that I was talking about when I do test taking skills. I don't really need to know anything sometimes. I just need to know how to test it. So again, I'm doing the same thing. It's saying water. So I'm going to put water in where water is. Does 7.5 equal 2 times the rice, 3.75? And I'm going to use my calculator, but I'm fairly confident that 2 times 3.75 is 7.5. Yes. So that means that this one is true. Okay, I again have the same sort of situation. I can move this up a little bit. So then I got the rest of the page. Joanna can complete 15 pages of puzzles in 2 3/4 hours. An equation that represents the pages she can complete in H hours is pages. So does 15 pages, and that's coming from here, equal 2 3/4 times 2 3/4? I do not know the answer to that. But I do know that 2 3/4 is 2.75 and 2 3/4 is 2.75. I'm going to say no. Simply because it's got 2.75 twice. But I've substituted the things in. So I'm going to check and see if 15 really does equal 2.75 times 2.75. And I'm going to say no. 2.75 times 2.75 equals, 7.56. So the answer to that, lost it. It's right here. The answer to that is false because it's like 7 point something. So this does not equal. All right, let's do it again. Another one. Mike can paint 2.5 houses in 3.5 weeks. So let's do houses here. So 1.4 times 2.5 does it equal W, where it's 3.5? So let's use our calculator. 1.4 times 2.5. Okay, I forgot a decimal, so 1.4 times 2.5 equals 3.5. 3.5 does equal 3.5. So the answer to that will be yes, it is true. A smoothie calls, so this one is wanting us to write an equation. It calls for 2 cups of blueberries and 6 cups of strawberries. So write an equation that can be used to find out how many cups of blueberries to use when X cups of strawberries are used. So that one says how many blueberries per strawberries. So I'm going to do 2 divided by 6, and I get 1/3, which makes sense because 2 is 1/3 of 6. So I think the number of blueberries is 1/3 of the amount of strawberries. That does work. So if I substitute in 2 over here, does 2 equal 1/3 of 6? It's a 3. And yes, it does. So this is the final solution for that one. All right, we will do the next page. I'm going to go find it. So hold on just a second. Okay, so this one wants us to start thinking about which one is the dependent variable and which one is the independent variable. The dependent variable changes based upon the one that you choose, the one that is independent of the second one. Yeah, I'm doing a good job as best I can to explain that. But you're going to see some examples in this one that explains that. So Sharon is helping her mom make dinner. She needs 3 cups of water. So this one tells me she needs 3 cups of water for every cup of rice. How many cups of water does she need for rice? So which one depends on the other one? So the amount of water is dependent upon how much rice you get. So that seems backwards, but the amount of water depends on the amount of rice. So the one that is independent is rice, because that one is the one that basically you get to choose. The water is, you have to make the choice on how much rice to make, then you decide. Then that determines how much water you need. So that is how that works. It seems a little strange, I know, but it is what it is. So that means that water equals 3 times as much rice. That's where that comes from. So that the dependent variable is on this side of the equal by itself, and the independent variable has the, it's technically called a constant, has that constant of 3. All right, let's go to the next problem and see if it can be a little bit more clear as we practice. So let's scroll up. It's just one problem. But what it says is Jane uses 10 gallons of gas to travel 150 miles. How many miles can she drive with G gallons of gas? Okay, so in this equation, we need to think about what depends on the other. Well, you need gas to go how far? So the need is the amount of gas. So that one is independent, because how much gas determines how far you get to go. So the amount of miles is your dependent one. It depends on gas to get there. Okay, so we will write that as miles equals And I guess I need to do 150 divided by 10, so I get 15 G. All right, there we go. I think that's it for today. We will continue on tomorrow.